Hello and welcome to the Extreme Z Podcast, the only Dokkan podcast making your favorite talk show format relevant again. I'm your host, Epic Mewtwo.
And I'm your co-host, Gavon.
And I'm already sipping water. Jeez.
Don't make me tempted.
Oof, oof. I can hear yours though. You got that click clack.
Wow. I don't know if I should feel offended or not.
Nah, don't worry about it, G. Welcome back, though.
With my Gatorade bottles alone.
Anyway, we'll talk about our preferences in water bottles after the podcast.
Gatorade, if you want to sponsor the channel.
Oh my gosh, yo. I'd be down. The blue one is pretty good. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, welcome back to episode 12 of the podcast. This is going to be a very interesting one. Well, the topic we've been talking about behind the scenes for a while, so we've been kind of wanting to make a podcast episode on it anyway, and I felt like this was an appropriate time with some current events. But it's also going to be weird because this podcast might hold the record for the shortest JP news segment ever.
And global, probably.
Yeah, and global, probably, because there was literally, like, no news between this one and the last podcast. By the way, if there's any weird cuts in this video, I am still feeling sick. If you guys were keeping an eye on the Discord and the Twitter, I didn't stream the Friday before this video's, or yeah, the Friday before this.
That Friday felt so empty without a stream.
Feels so empty without
sad.
me. But yeah, so I was still feeling a little. I'm like tiny bit better, but I might need to, run to the little John, you know what I'm saying? Not like the rapper. We're just gonna continue.
But Theo,
What?
Johns.
Oof, true.
Dual meaning, got him.
But anyhow,
We're
going
totally
to
not
get
stalling.
into
Leave us alone.
Yes, hashtag stall boys. But anyway, that's actually real quick. Just side note, Etika said that.
The 1 hour long boy.
Etika said that on like his announcement thing where he was like this. He made a new channel for just like kind of like casual streaming, and he's like, "That's all we did on the streams anyway with stall." Like,
Nice.
You're not wrong. That's what we're doing here. But anyway, let's get on with it. So we got to get the record time, right? Okay.
Yep.
So we'll start JP News right now. Realm of Gods banner went up. Banner for EZA, Trunks, and Vegeta went up. The crests went up. The Dokkan Fest for transforming Vegeta went up. The EZA went up. The Dokkan Fest went up. Goo Boy went live. The Dragon Ball Super Story event went live. The Rage, I almost said Broly and Beerus mixed into one. The Rage Vegeta event went live. And then probably the most new and important thing that actually happened like after the podcast happened was that JP hit #1 in the App Store for this, which is really cool, considering this is just like, a basic Dokkan Fest. We only got it once, which is fine, but we did hit that fat #1 and got 30 stones for that, so that was pretty cool.
Number one.
Oh, they got #1. And then in the news as well, there was a little advertisement for the Dragon Ball Super manga, which was kind of cool. I think we got like 1 stone for that or something like that.
My favorite.
Yeah, just like a little, like, you can't complain. It's just, a little like, here you go. I'm like, thanks. I appreciate it.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Yes, exactly. So that was literally like, basically the only 2 new things that happened before like yesterday was those 2 things. And then we got the announcement on JP that Tech Hit, which was, came out on Global first, is coming to JP. That might actually happen maybe tonight, tomorrow, something like that. Of course, it'll happen right after we upload the podcast, I'm sure, because, that's just our luck.
Yep.
Thank you, Bandai. But the other interesting thing that got announced was a Universe 6 story event the Global did not get. We don't know what characters are going to be able to get.
Global Shaft.
Yes, Global Shaft. It's kind of funny to me.
Anyone who's saying Global Shaft, remember, this is like what happened when JP got the Int, let's say Int Bulma, the Int Beerus and STR Vegeta and Bulma. They said, you know what, LR Beerus.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
So,
yeah, they do that a lot. When, like, Global gets something first, they'll bring it to JP, but with a little bit of something extra.
Yeah, spice it up.
Right.
And then Global just gets it shoehorned into something else a
Yeah,
little while.
exactly. So it's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
hey, it'll still be kind of cool to go through it. I'm
This
assuming
ain't
it's
no
like,
other world scenario, thankful.
yeah, exactly. Thankfully, um, I'm assuming
Boy.
it's like when they were collecting the Dragon Balls or when they were recruiting their team.
It's when they were recruiting the members like Hit and Frost and all that.
Okay, cool. Not too bad.
People are assuming we'll get like a farmable Hit card for the SA. That would be nice. Or like a Vados card, which is long overdue.
Oh yeah, I hope so. That would be cool.
We like 14 cards.
Or Vados and Champa.
I still think that should be an LR to counter Beerus or something.
Yeah, I agree. But
remember, Champa is technically extreme.
Right, yeah, that is true.
Don't know why, but he is.
The rest of them aren't. Because hits... Wait,
do we have the extreme 4-key later for extreme fizz or something?
No, not yet. Hit's not extreme, is he? He's hero, right?
Yeah, he is. He's extreme.
Okay, but then why is Kale, Khalifa, and Kaba hero?
Hit's game ender.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I forgot about his occupation.
Khalifa's just a
goof.
Player.
Yeah. That's true. That is very true. I did overlook that indeed. But the other thing that people are speculating about this is that just like with Rage Vegeta, people are speculating that a LR Kefla or LR Kalen Caulifla might come out with this, which I don't know how I feel about that personally. I don't really think so. I hope so. It's going to kind of tie into what we're talking about today.
But do you really hope for another LR there?
No, that's what I just said. Yeah, no, I don't want it. Eventually I want it, but not right now.
Yeah, I'd love that. Would be cool. Like, as long as it's like a Super Saiyan 1 Kefla have we had an LR with transformation mechanic before? Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah,
Dokkan Fest.
Yeah.
Boy.
But not technically not an unfeatured though, unless you count Baby.
Yeah. So as long as it doesn't make the Fizz Kefla irrelevant, I'll be sad if it does.
Yeah, it should be. I think it should be Kale and Caulifla that henshin into Kefla.
Yeah. Or a Super Saiyan 1 Kefla that becomes Super Saiyan 2. Or a base form one, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, a base form one would be dope. That has 3 transformations too.
I don't like base form Kefla. We need a base form Kefla card in some way.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I do like base form Kefla.
We're totally not rambling, just add up video timing.
No, we actually are discussing. But
yeah, I know.
It's funny that you say that because we're done with JP News. That was like what?
Yeah.
5 minutes without our memes in the beginning. I told you it was short.
I'm gonna beat you real quick. Watch.
Oh, no.
Hit top grossing. That's about it. I'm not even lying.
I mean, literally all the other stuff that we listed, besides obviously Hit in the Universe 6 thing, and the manga thing, happened on Global. Like all the Vegeta
basically
stuff.
All the story events are back. The Fruit of the Tree of Might, the Fight Against Despair, the ones that JP didn't get. Realm of Gods banners up. Family gun. Father, son, Gallic gun. There we go.
Get the family gun.
Can the word gun get this demonetized?
Maybe. We'll see.
Oof.
Susan, have mercy.
Susan, no, please.
I already said it too, so it'd be like that.
Family Crest. We got more top crest than JP. Global win. Woo.
Global JP Shaft.
JP Shaft, yep. Yeah, in all retrospect, it's pretty much the same thing JB had. The ECA went live, all that. We have no news on what's coming next. No, Garesh must be crying because no Metagooler.
Yeah, I sure hope he's coming next. I would think it's time.
There's still some, because we need some sort of April Fool's meme to happen. Don't forget about that.
That is true.
I doubt they're going to go with no April Fool's this year. That would make me sad.
But, it's not going to be... Well, Hit's... No, wait a minute. I just realized. They announced Hit? April Fool's? He's not actually coming?
Staying global exclusive.
Yo, what if they did that, though?
I would feel so bad.
I would be laughing. As sad as I would be, I'd be laughing my butt off.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so...
That'd be hilarious, though. Oh, my gosh.
News is News is done.
Yeah. That's all we got.
Yeah.
That was 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Big oof. Thank you.
Oof,
Thank you,
indeed.
Dokkan. We usually are we have too much news. This time it was yikes.
Where's the news?
Dude, where's my news?
Yup.
Ugh. But anyhow, let's move on from that, I guess. We're going to talk about now I almost said episode 12. Yeah, yes, this is episode 12, Brent.
Bad.
Yeah, that. We're going to talk about the fact that it's episode 12. No, we're going to talk about are banners releasing too fast. Now, this is kind of interesting. We're going to talk about it on Global NJP after I guess, the break we'll have now.
You better watch that ad? Question mark?
Question mark. We're going to kind of talk about JP and Global. They're both sort of in like a little bit of a different predicament right now.
Yeah.
But we both have a lot to say about this. So I hope that it'll at least like, you know, it'll give you some decent content where our news was lacking. Not on our lack of trying, mind you.
Definitely not.
Yeah, not definitely. But anyway, we'll be right back after the break.
Better watch.
Welcome back. We hope you
Enjoyed that ad.
There you go. We keep saying enjoyed, but theoretically, like, you don't have to
Suffer through it.
No. At least just be tranquil with it. You know what I mean?
Reach a state of zen while you watch the ad.
Yes. Reach a state of zen. Anyway, let's continue on our topic that we kind of sort of teased, but now we're going to talk about. Man, I am so out of it today.
You and me both.
Thankfully, though, we've had these ideas in our mind for a while, so we're not just spitballing here. We've been cooking it up in the crock pot. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Let's get to it. So, we're going to talk about some JP memes first, and then we're going to talk about Global, because they're sort of kind of in a different spot. We're mainly going to be focusing on JP because that's sort of the main issue right now with banners. As you can see by the title, our banners releasing too fast. But Global also has their own issue that's kind of like sort of the opposite, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
excuse me.
If you're kind of wondering, and you probably heard some, some like talks about it in the Dokkan community, how a lot of people feel like, including me and Kayvon, and it's just sort of like, not even feel like, it's just sort of a fact. Well, the fact is that they've been releasing banners back to back to back nonstop. But
yeah,
the opinion part of it...
We're not talking about just like random banners. We're talking about like Dokkan Fest after Dokkan Fest.
Right. And the opinion part of it is that they're releasing them too fast. So let's kind of give you an overview of what we're talking about. Now, keep in mind, we're looking at the DBZ space dates, right? For these. So just so if you're wondering like where we're getting the dates from, that's where it's from. So, Int Goku Black, December 17th, 2018, right? So then, we won't really count like banners that aren't that major, because, you know, like they're not as, you know, like I guess necessary to talk about. But if we do want to poke around a little bit before that, Heroes was on the 5th. So that was like only, like 12 days later, which isn't that big of a gap, but it's still like a little bit of a, I don't know about that one, Chief. Then on the 20th, we're not going to talk about EZA banners either, because, you know,
those are kind of there.
But the Fusions banner, again, which wasn't really a very big banner, but still came out on the 26th, about 6 days after that Ink Goku Black banner, which some people did summon on it. But, so, the Dokkan Fest, what do you want to keep in mind? So then after those, then we had, well, before that even, we had LR Trunks and Mai. Which
but that's not Dokkan Fest 3.
Oh, it's an important unit.
I'm kidding.
So, right?
Important
so
unit.
that was on
the...
So on the 29th, right, it was Trunks and Mai, which was an LR banner. Yeah. And then right after that, on the 8th, it was Gogeta and Broly, the dual Dokkan Fest. And then right after that, on the 28th, which sounds like, oh, right after that, what do you mean? But the banners the sales of them went away on the 15th and became normal banners. And people I know were still summoning on that for then. And then the New Year's banner came out on the 28th of January, which, wait, 28th of January, that? Huh. I thought it came out like on New Year's. I think DBZ Space is off on that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, it definitely came out on New Year's because I streamed it on New Year's. But anyway, so that came out then, keep in mind. Or no, so then that date is wrong. Either way, the point is, right? Actually, I think these dates are a little off. But, so Gogeta came out, right? And then the New Year's banner came out, right? And then, after that, we had 4th year with the Super Saiyan 4 LR units, right after the New Year's banner and Gogeta and Broly. And then, right after that, we had LR Baby and LR Trio GT LR. And then we had
Not
Kid
even
Goku.
after that, they were on at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Fourth year.
And then we had Kid Goku. And then we had the new, well, we have right now the Transferring Vegeta. And then just got announced, like, you know, a day or two before this recording, and might even be out by the time this recording, or this podcast episode rather, is up, is the Hit banner. So that's all in the span of, think about it, right? We're in March, like late March. And the beginning of that whole saga was in December. What do you remember? Even though it's September, you can put December. Anyway, Goku Black came out right in like December time. And then so from then to now, there has been, and I'll count like just big banners and LR banners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then with the Hit banner 11. Now again, that's not counting either when they change from discounts to normal banners, because, you know, technically still the same banner, but the game kind of considers it not. You get the point, though.
And usually on average is essentially a Dokkan Fest every 2 weeks is what we're getting at.
Which is kind of ridiculous. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because right, there's some periods in the past, right? I remember specifically last year, funny enough, listening to Modcast, or was this last year? Maybe 2 years ago. They were talking about how the game's content was too slow, and it didn't come out fast enough. And now, it's coming out too fast.
Like, banners aren't content.
Well, right. But the other thing you have to remember is that,
I had to, I'm sorry.
Right. They're like kind of content, but kind of not. That's a whole nother
they make
podcast.
Content, if anything.
Right, that's true. That's a whole nother podcast.
If you get the unit, then you
itself.
have 11 runs of the Dokkan event farm. So,
right,
there's
exactly.
your content.
But nonetheless, 9 times out of 10 when a new unit comes out, they bring a new event. So there's that to think about in terms of banners aren't content. But nonetheless, the point is that that's a lot to summon on, especially for free-to-play players, right? That's a lot to sort of like, you know, hey, where do I put my stones?
And even for people who spend, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Even for people who spend on the game, the fact that there has been little to no break between the Dokkan Fests, like usually, like on Global right now, like they had a while back to like segue into this, they had the Peppy Gal banner or whatever, and there was no Dokkan Fest banner available during that.
Right.
On JP right now, it feels like they lump them together at the same time instead of branching them out. Just so like on JP right now, there's been a lot of cases where there's like 5 banners to summon on. And I ain't talking no friend point banner.
Which is ridiculous. That's like on some Legends memes. But you know, that's a good point. So just to finish the free-to-play thought, you're good, by the way. That, you know, like it's like, oh, what do I summon on and what do I use my stones on? Now, granted, 4th year did give a lot of stones. I think the total was like 900. Yeah. Crazy amount of stones. But, you know, you didn't know that after 4th year, or after rather, you know, the Super Saiyan 4s, they're going to drop those, and then they're going to drop Transforming Vegeta, and then hit right after that. You know, granted, people saved for Gogeta and Broly. Right, and Kid Goku, right? All that came out right afterward, and, you know, you're like, oh, Super Saiyan 4 is going to, you know, just be chilling for a while, and then bam, like 4 more banners. So, you know, the other thing, and this is kind of a discussion in the community, right, that they sort of need to give, especially, like, you know, people who are spending on the game, a break, right? They need to let them relax so that, you know, it's not like, oh, Dokkan Fest, you know, LR, all the time, so that, you know, they can let their wallet recuperate, basically. You know, and they need to give them some time to kind of space it out. Like this Vegeta break that we've had since the Vegeta event went live was probably the longest break we've had in, you know, months. In literally this 4 months, it was like the longest break that we've had in terms of a banner being here. And, you know, like nothing new coming out, which it was pretty nice, to be honest. But, like, you know, it's just sort of crazy to me that they, you know, dropped all this, because it seemed like before they were sort of conscientious about it. Like, if we take a look back, right, Metacooler and, you know, the, let's see, so, like, Metacooler was spaced out well before Int Black, right? Super Boo was spaced out pretty well as well. The A little bit less on the transforming Goku and Frieza, but still spaced out relatively well. You know, the LR for them as well came out, which I guess was kind of a lot to summon on at one time, but still.
I mean, transforming Goku and Frieza were Dokkan Fest, though, remember?
Right, no, but I'm saying then LR Goku and Frieza came out at the same time is what I mean.
Fair enough.
Right. So, but the point, you know, is that like before, it was sort of a lot more spaced out in terms of, you know, how often they're putting up banners. But now it just kind of seems like, you know, they're just shoving it down our throat. So I would say that they're definitely releasing it too fast. I know that a lot of people sort of agree with me that they're like, hey, we need a break. Because here's the other thing, too, that we haven't even mentioned yet, right? Hit's coming out now at the beginning of April, and Golden Week is the last week of April. And Golden Week is when, you know, obviously it's like this big celebration in Japan, but Dokkan always gets some new big Dokkan Fest unit for Golden Week. Last year, I believe it was Blue Evo.
And not to mention, like, there is a high possibility of a hero celebration to commemorate the Switch game, too.
Right, which is coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
After this, you know, podcast goes up. But, yeah, so that's like, you know, a lot of potential banners that could be coming. And I will admit, you know, despite the fact that it is definitely too much, they have been doing pretty good on the sales in terms of having a sale for each new Dokkan Fest. Because back in the day, well, I guess not back in the day, but like a little while ago, I guess you would say, they didn't have sales for every fest, right?
Now, if they'd stop labeling stuff super sales when they clearly aren't.
Right. They've been doing that a lot lately where they've been saying, you know, oh, it's a super sale or whatever. And it's just like a normal sale, right? Like when Global has a super sale, it's a super sale, right? Like, you know, it's pretty super. But, you know, with JP, they sort of kind of, I guess you could say, shaft you. Yeah, in that regard. So, you know, it's a lot to come out. And yeah, that was something big that, you know, we didn't even mention yet, is that, you know, on top of all those banners, what do we say, like 11 banners including Hit? It's going to be 12 when the Golden Week banner comes out, because that's at the end of April and Hit's coming out, you know, now. Yep. So, you know, it's a lot to summon on. And, you know, I think this is, I don't know, because like...
And then there's potential of a new LR coming along with Hit.
Right.
We're speculating too that's another banner.
Right. And so, where is I going with this? I would say it's, I guess, less of a problem for free-to-play players. It's still a problem because it's like, you know, what do I spend my stones on? Because, like, all these units are good, right?
I mean, at the very least, it gives more options to free-to-play players to choose what to spend on.
But, like, you know,
which mean, in retrospect, they should just be saving for little Dokkan Fests, even on JP.
But, well, here's what I would say, though, right? Like, sure, Int Black is a skip, but, like, Gogeta, right? You need to summon on. The New Year's banner, you need to summon on. The Super Saiyan 4 banner,
stuff like that.
You need to summon on, right? Like, and then the LR Baby banner and the Trio LR banner, I would even argue as a need to summon on, because it was such a good chance to get an LR and there was 2 featured on there, right? I would say that you could skip Kid Goku, but it's still a very solid unit, and transforming Vegeta is also a very solid unit, and I would say that that banner might not even be a skip, just because Vegeta's so good, the Super Vegeta's so good, and the featured units on the banner were really good as well.
In the black, angrily in the background.
Yeah, right?
Stealing his banner.
So it's like... It's a lot to, you know, have there that's all good units, right? Because, like, nothing that we've talked about isn't good, right? And then Hit is obviously a fantastic unit. And then I'm sure whatever it is for Golden Week, heck, it's Golden Week, you know, it's going to be good as well.
Don't get us wrong. Like, we know, like, it's a gacha game. That's what they do. But, like, sometimes it's, like, I feel like even by JP gacha game standards, it feels like it's a bit much.
Right. Because, like, you know... Compare it to another game where the banners are there for, you know, like 3 weeks, maybe a month at a time. You know, sometimes they're a little bit more frequent, but certainly a lot more spaced out, right? So, you know, but I do think this is more of a problem for, like, I guess, kind of more of a problem for, you know, right? Because, like, you know, it's just so much to, you know, like, spend on. And it's so much to, you know, like, spend for these. Like, you got to think about it, right? Like, how much, do people want to go in on Gogeta and Broly, obviously? Everyone wants to do all the steps on the New Year's banner. Everybody obviously wants Super Saiyan 4s with probably a dupe, right? And then, like, thankfully for me, Kid Goku came pretty easily. I didn't even get Baby on the banner, and I went pretty hard on that banner. I did get a true LR dupe, though, so I guess I did, like, technically pull 2 features. And Vegeta took me 800 freaking stones. So, rest in peace to that. And again, also, if you aren't aware,
his wallet screams from inside his pocket.
But, like, Saiyan Day was the, reason why Vegeta came out. Which obviously is there before Golden Week. But I don't know. I certainly think that they could have, like, not brought Hit yet. I mean, I was kind of expecting him to be the next Dokkan Fest, to be honest, but not
there should have been some sort of filler.
Right.
Something.
Because, like, what Global does, I feel, really well, is that, like, they'll bring out a couple banners that are, like, kind of enticing. You're like, maybe I want to summon on that, right? But it is something that you could skip, right?
Yeah.
But, it gives you a little bit of break, a little bit of fluff, right? For example, between Fuchsia Gohan and the dreaded thank you celebration, was the girl banner, which what you could say, like that was sort of like a little bit of filler, right? Or in between, in between like Super Boo and Broly, right? They had, the Rising Dragon Carnival. Again, you could skip that realistically. I know I was kind of saying
that's a good filler banner too,
right? Because not everybody, and like especially with that LR, I would say even more. I know I was saying like hyping up a little bit more before, but it isn't really an LR you need. Because there is some like I would say like LR Goku and Frieza, right? Like that's an LR that you probably need, right? Like that's an LR that you don't want to pass up. Or like LR Black, I feel like would be a good example of that, right? Or LR Gohan, but these guys, like LR Cell is an example of one that you don't really need, right? So, a skippable banner, right? So they do a good job of sort of like spacing it out, right? Like in between Gogeta and Vegeta for Global was the, Super Saiyan 3 LR Goku banner, which...
Yeah, and the Peppy Girls banner too.
Right, and the new Peppy Girls banner, which, obviously both of those you could skip out on, if you really wanted to.
The issue... Like we said, the issue is that it feels like JP hasn't gone a week or a celebration without a Dokkan Fest active.
Right, because Global has celebrations where there aren't Dokkan Fests.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, right? Like, every celebration is like, new Dokkan Fest incoming. And it's like, please, chill out. So, I don't know. I definitely think they're coming out too fast. I think they need to slow down. I would say that we sort of kind of provided a solution without, I guess, technically just saying it outright. That, like, you need to have a little bit more filler content.
Yeah, just a little bit of fluff.
Right, exactly. Because, like, the fluff that they put out is right alongside the Dokkan Fest, so no one summons on it anyway, right? Like, with Transforming Vegeta, we got 2 new banners. We got the Easy A banner, and we got the ROG banner, right?
Yeah.
And those literally dropped with the Dokkan Fest. Or, like, the Kid Goku banner, right? We had not the Childhood Saga, I'll just call it the kids category for the sake of it, right? Come out with that. And so it's, they need to, I feel like, just space it out a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they're trying to, like, to me, the ones that made sense to push out more quickly were Gogeta, obviously the New Year's banner, because that's for New Year's, right? And then, like, 4th year.
That was all out of nowhere.
Right. But, like, those 3, right, are, like, seem to me that they were, like, properly scheduled, right? Well, I mean, technically I would say that Gogeta and Broly should have come ages before they did, but I digress, right? Like,
especially on Global.
Right. They, they pushed them out, I suppose, quote unquote, as soon as they could, which,
At least it was faster than Legends.
Can say that again. But anyway, Super Saiyan 4s obviously had to come out during 4th year, right? We're not even talking about the type banners. All those are there, which obviously you could skip, but we're still there. you know, and then like the baby banner was also for fourth year, you know, because it was like GT themed or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, like I feel like, you know, as much as I love, and here's the other thing too, like I know it feels like I'm kind of like trash talking these, but I love all of these units, right? Like I don't dislike any of them. Obviously, they're all really great, like I said, right? Like I don't not like Kid Goku, but I definitely think they could have waited a little bit to come out with him. Like not that I don't think that he never should have come out. I'm very glad that they finally added some Dragon Ball love, but
Yeah, right after a hype celebration, no
right,
less.
exactly. So, you know, I definitely feel like they could, you know, space them out. Like I feel like Vegeta at least was definitely a, you know, good, like a good spot, right? Because it was Saiyan Day. Like here's what I could tell you, right? I think they could have gotten away with, like, you know, obviously Black kind of had to be the celebration for that, but they could have just like removed Black for the time being, had, or maybe just like, I don't know, like maybe removed him, right? And then had Gogeta spaced better, and then the New Year's banner, right? And then fourth year, and then push the LR banner a little bit farther back, and then Saiyan Day, and wait for Kid Goku for later, and wait for Hit since the Golden Week unit would be coming out. Obviously, that's a lot less banners, but then that way, people aren't like, you know, water. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I definitely feel like that they could space it out better. And the other problem too, well, not the problem, but like the other, I guess, sort of thing that makes them, you know, not as inclined to sort of slow down is that on every one of these banners we hit top grossing. So people,
I mean, that's inevitable. At least
no,
one
well,
store's gonna
because
have
here's
top
the
grossing.
thing. Like, Dokkan Fest normal ones didn't always hit top grossing before. Like, I can tell you, last year if Kid Goku come out, he probably wouldn't have hit top grossing, right? Or like, you know, Super Vegito, Fizz 1, he didn't get top grossing as far as I remember, right? Like Metacooler, I don't think he got top grossing, right? Android
Fair enough, fair enough.
17, I don't remember him getting top grossing. So, you know, as a more recent, you know, more banners have been getting top grossing. Like, think about it, right? Int Black, I don't think got it either, but you know, Gogeta got both, right? Obviously, New Year's banner doesn't really count for one, for top grossing. Obviously, fourth year got it, you know, a bunch. You know, Kid Goku got it, and Vegeta got it, and you know, I'm pretty sure I can say with confidence that Hit will hit it as well, and it's a no-brainer that Golden Week will hit it as well. So, to them, I feel like it's just like, well, hey, let's just keep pumping it out, bro. If people are going to keep getting us that high, shoot, you know? Give the people, you know, more. And it's like, no, chill. So, you know, I think I made my point by this point, you know, that, like, it's just too much, and I feel like they need to slow down. So, and the problem is though that doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. So we'll see what happens after Golden Week. Yeah, I hope that Golden Week. Real quick, let me just cut you off for the last time. Golden Week, lipstick in my Valentino, my bad. You know, I hope after Golden Week we'll have a substantial break. That's my hope. But anyway, continue my.
Yeah, segueing from something that's saying they should slow down. Global, on the other hand, should try and speed up a little bit.
Speed up.
So, let me put some perspective for you guys. Gogeta and Broly, the dual Dokkan Fest, ended around, what's it called? Like, it ended around the beginning, I think, of March.
Gogeta if I remember correctly? Broly? Yes.
Yeah. And only like a month later did we get Vegeta.
Yeah, DBZ Space's ones
right.
are whack because it says it came out at the beginning of March. So yeah, that's not correct.
A month later.
Well, that's the end time. I'm a dummy. I was reading the end time the whole time. Okay, sorry. Continue. My bad.
You know what I mean? Like a whole month without a Dokkan Fest. Like, and there was not many filler banners really between it. Like, sure, there was the LR banner and the Pepigal banner, but like, even then, and there was the ECA. Okay, well, no, Gogeta came with Broly. Never mind. That doesn't really count. So like, and there wasn't much between it. Like, not even any like actual content. Like, there wasn't much to the celebration either.
You mean not the Gogeta celebration, right?
Yeah, like the one after. I think it
Right,
was
okay.
like the spring training celebration.
Yeah, something like that.
Like the epitome of filler, but it wasn't even anything engaging. Was the problem?
Right. It was
New
just like
story events. No.
general garbage.
Yeah. So Global has been really, but I will admit, the more looking at it, Global has been behind on a lot of stuff like Easy A's and story events, which it doesn't help when they push out a dual celebration either. That pushes the schedule even more back.
Right.
And then
You mean by Vegeta, right?
yeah. And then it doesn't even help that we're already like, it feels like we're lacking Dokkan Fests. Or like, it feels like they're trying to spread stuff out really thinly, just so that they don't have to bring anything before 4th year that shouldn't be before 4th year.
Which is kind of whack.
Which I sincerely hope not, because 2 banners isn't going to last us the 4 months before 4th year round.
Yeah, no way.
Because all we have banner-wise before 4th year is Metacooler and Ant Black.
And well, yeah, so they could push Kid Goku out
Hopefully.
sooner.
I feel like the best case scenario would be having Kid Goku somewhere in there as a little like thing to introduce active skills to Global 2. No to-be released memes here. I pray.
Yeah, that could be cool.
But yeah, like, because remember UI.
Uh-oh. Bandai hears us. They're crashing through.
UI on Global was first transformation unit compared to Vegito and Gogeta on JP. So anything could happen.
Right. So they did change that up. So does that... Well, because I was saying, too, like, I was kind of praising Global a little bit ago for their spacing, but I was sort of just using it as an example. I do agree with K-Bot, because I was envisioning a comment where, wait a minute, you just said that Global had good spacing. Now you're saying it as bad? I was just sort of using some of them as an example, right? Like, I think now Global definitely has poor spacing.
Global has good spacing, it's just that...
well, here, I should say this. Poor spacing that's going to be happening, like, soon, is what I should say.
If they don't, like, just bring something before 4th year.
Right. Because 4th year for Global is in the summer when?
July, I believe.
Okay, so... Right, so, like, think about that, right? It's March right now. So that's March, April, May, June, July. So, let me math real quick. April, May, June, July. That's 4 months, right? And so, does that mean that they're going to stretch out, you know, like, Int Black, Metacooler, and for Garesh's sake, shout out to the boy, hope he comes next, and, like, Kid Goku, are those going to come out, you know, like, for 4 months? You know, I would assume they would have to push something out, unless what they're going to do is when Golden Week happens, because this could happen considering Saiyan Day happened on Global this year, which it has not happened before. Yeah, I know you know what I'm going to say. Saiyan Day has not happened before on Global, but it just celebrated it with the Vegeta, so maybe Global is going to start celebrating Golden Week and push out Golden Week content when JP doesn't do another dual celebration. But then again, that would still be a while to wait because Vegeta goes away in like 3 days on Global.
Yeah. Now, if we get Metacore to fill in the gap that Hit would fill for JP before Golden Week.
But isn't that still too quick? Isn't that like 2 weeks between that? Well, I guess that is like, if Metacooler ended at the end of the month when Golden Week like is about to begin, I guess it could be okay.
Yeah. Then after Golden Week, they could have maybe a filler celebration, then Int Black.
And then Kid Goku. I could see them doing that.
Maybe another filler or something, and then Goku.
I could see that. So
and then
yeah.
And then Goku would end. It would be a little quiet period, and then like it would be a bit of a quiet period to hype up 4th year, because around January or not around January, around July 1st, because 4th year officially starts the 7th. From the 1st to the 7th, they probably have like the countdown to 4th year type of stuff.
Right, just like they did for JP. That was really cool.
It was. Yeah, so that's a sort of game plan they could go with.
Right, and again, so their spacing now is like all right, but we're kind of again just sort of like.
See, the problem with Global is that while it is catching up in a way, excuse me, in a way, banner-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much ECAs and story events, but that's its own thing. The issue is that, especially with anniversaries where you can't move them forward.
Mm-hmm. Or can you?
I mean, if people have half thought about having both versions celebrate their anniversaries
At the same time.
Like I remember somebody said, I think it was in some sort of Discord I was in, that a game celebrates the JP and global anniversaries on each version.
I think I have heard that too. Maybe it's Don Machi. I'm not sure. If someone in the comments knows,
I'm not sure.
let
Or
us
with
know.
Bleach Brave Souls, one of the two.
Maybe.
But yeah, so like that would be an interesting workaround, if anything. It would mean double the celebrations, which would be cool.
Obviously, they can't do that now, but next year, right?
Yeah,
that could be a possibility.
definitely.
But I just think it's definitely a lot of like free space that, and I suppose they could pull another hit on us and release something on global first before they do on JP.
Which will be wild, honestly. Another exclusive Dokkan Fest.
It would, but I kind of
really would.
Like, what else are they gonna do? Like, even if they go with what we sort of like brought to the table, that Golden Week, right? And then, and then like Metacooler, yeah. Right? Or we'll just say Metacooler for the sake of the example, right? Yeah. Metacooler and then Golden Week, and then Kid Goku and then in Black, right? That's still like there's still time in there that they could probably fit one more in.
See, the problem is, JP has nothing after Kid Goku.
Right. No, I agree with you. Or not agree with you. I mean, yes, it's obvious, yeah.
Vegeta came out that are on both versions, and now they're getting hit, which Global already has.
Right.
So, unless the next Dokkan Fest after hit gets rushed, like, quote-unquote, rushed to the global side after they get Kid Goku, if they get it before 4th year.
Well, that would be Golden Week, then.
Yeah, well, yeah, true.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of variables, and like I'm starting to slowly understand the reason why people are a bit afraid that Global might be in a very slow period soon.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. While JP is just, spinning their wheels in snow, so to speak.
Perfectly unbalanced, as all things shouldn't be.
Yep, literally. So, yeah, I don't know. I think after Golden Week for JP at least, it's definitely a good time to slow down, and I think it's a good time for global.
I do like your train of thought. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear you.
Because I do like your train of thought of global getting a Golden Week. That'd be nice to see.
Hey, Happy Wednesday Day. It's possible.
Each celebrate Chinese New Year.
Yo, make it happen. When is Chinese New Year again?
I don't remember, but Global had a random celebration for Chinese New Year. Why not just bring Golden Week over?
Chinese New Year. Let me look it up. Chinese New Year Chicago. What do you mean? What?
The more I think about it, the more likely it is that we might get a dual celebration Golden Week, actually.
Chinese New Year in 2019 is a fun fact, the year of the pig. And in 2020, it's going to be on the 25th of January.
I just actually thought of something.
Oh, it happens on different days every year. Like 2019 was the 5th of February, and 2018 was the 16th of February, and 2021 is going to be the 12th of February, according to Wikipedia. If you know.
I just thought of a little. Let me speculate some real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how JP and even Global were very slow on the Broly movie uptake. They waited a good week or two before the stuff dropped in game.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say after the movie came out. I was like, a little bit more than a week, my guy. But
but hear me out here. What if Golden Week is Heroes themed on both versions?
Rev up those fryers, boys.
If it is a Golden Week celebration to celebrate the Switch game on both versions. Now, I might be reaching to the stars with this, but that'd be unbelievably hype.
Here's the problem with that, though. I do agree with you. Oh, I would like love for that to happen.
Mortgage the house.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Heroes comes out Friday, the 5th of April, and Golden Week ain't till the last week of April, which is, I guess you could say, like the 22nd.
But just think, that's literally around 2 weeks. Which is how long it took Broly to come out.
Stop it! You're making too much sense.
All according to K-Kager.
Dang. It could be. Let's see. 2019. Just so I'm like double checking here. Golden Week Japan. 2019 date. I would love to actually go to Japan for Golden Week one year.
Cool.
Saturday, April 20. Oh, wait, that's 2017. Holy cow, that's a long. Wait, so in 20. Okay. So then, in 2019, the first holiday falls on the 29th. Okay. All right, so the 29th to about the 6th ish, the 5th, is when Golden Week is going to happen. So that's like wait. Yeah, okay. I was looking at my calendar wrong. So yes. So that is like Monday to, or sorry, it'll be like Monday to, like the end of the week, so like the 5th, basically.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance.
There is a chance. There's definitely a chance. I hope, because like with Dragon Ball Heroes coming out right in the West, they could just call it a Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission banner. That wouldn't be hard to do, right? They still, I don't think, could technically use. Again, I'm no expert on copyright law. We need to get someone on the podcast who knows more about that to kind of discuss that more. But they could certainly label it as that, considering the West is getting it. So, and heck, I mean, doesn't Global and JP right now have a little advertisement on the title screen?
Yeah.
For
and here's the thing,
right?
I was just thinking. The thing is, it's called World Mission, yeah, but it's still titled Super Dragon Ball Heroes. It's still part of that moniker.
Right.
So you could just keep it as Super Dragon Ball Heroes, if anything.
Right. I don't think it really matters the logistics.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
But nonetheless, you're right.
Yeah.
They could. So I don't know. But the other thing is too, we're kind of getting off topic here, but
yeah,
just to kind of like finish the train of thought. Do you think then that this is what happens when you don't give us enough news, man? Not no.
Yeah. We're trying to fill the hour slot.
Do you think because I feel like it wouldn't be fair to them to release this Heroes banner on Global and JP and then release all of the Heroes units on that banner for Global for the first time when JP has had two, right? Am I?
Here's
right?
the thing.
2 banners, 2 summon on them.
Easy fix. Release the most recent one on JP as a summon banner next to it. Give it discounts or something. Because that has the new units. That has all the like hyped new units and all the old ones. Because let's be real, nobody's got someone on a banner with Boobity featured.
Except for me, baby.
But yeah, I feel like if anything, like having like the new like a Dokkan Fest Kaioken Blue Vegeta or something wild like that.
I think that Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is perfect for this because he kind of recently came out in Heroes, right? He our Xeno boys came down and went head to head with Cumber for a little bit, right? They just came out with the production images rather for that Super Saiyan 4 Vegito figure, right? I believe somewhere in the World Mission trailer he was in it. Am I wrong? I think he was.
I don't know.
I feel like I remember that happening, but I could just be remembering wrong. I know that regular Vegito and Gogeta were obviously in it, but it could certainly be that. Heck, they could do UI Omen Grand Priest Goku.
That'd be
People
cool.
would go nuts for that. And who knows? Maybe in the next episode he's gonna go, mastered UI.
The next episode I still haven't seen.
You haven't seen the last one? All right, we'll watch that after the podcast. It's short. It's actually I think the best one that they've come out with so far. Nonetheless, we're getting off track. So
this whole segment's been off track.
It's okay. No, the beginning part was there, and then we kind of were just like, so it's all right then.
Plane crash.
Kind of literally like me right now with that sound effect.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying. But anyway.
Oh goodness.
I think that's really all we had to say about the Global and JP banners. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we?
TLDR, JP, slow down, Global, pick it up.
Yeah, pretty much. Space it out better.
Come on, step it up.
Come on, step it up. Only time will tell. For how they're going to sort of structure, the future. Because, you know, I don't know. I definitely think that Golden Week thing that I suggested could happen.
It really can.
It
would be so sad when it doesn't happen.
Yeah, if it does happen, though, you'll see it. I'll go crazy on Twitter. Go crazy, go stupid, go crazy. But yeah, so I guess that's where we're going to end it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know this was a little bit of a shorter one, but we did do 40 minutes of discussion, or about 40 minutes anyway, so that's good. But news was just like, you know, gone, bro. So I'm sure literally as soon as I finish rendering this, they're gonna announce all the hit stuff and there'll be something new, and then we'll just gonna be, you know,
Champa invite us.
No, please make it happen. But you know, nonetheless though, we kind of just, you know, their banner is going to be there, and that was what was important for the sake of the episode. Whew. But anyway, I'm gonna take a little rest, my boy.
Same here.
And we will talk to you next time. We'll obviously know a little bit more about all this in the next one. For the next episode, actually, it'll be on the 13th, so it won't quite be Golden Week yet, but the hit stuff will have come out. For next week, I don't know if I actually told you this yet, but we're going to aim to have a guest. I think that would probably be a good period to have one anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm sure maybe we could do for Golden Week a history of Golden Week episode. That could be cool since we've done that with like Christmas and anniversaries. But
that could work, yeah.
I digress. Thank y'all for watching. From everyone here at the Extreme Z Podcast crew, we'll see you in the next one.
Later, guys.